I'm going to be talking to Dr. John Wilson, who is the CEO of Innovate Calgary, about a new partnership between the University of Calgary and CIBC to create the Energy Transition Center in downtown Calgary. So welcome to the interview, John.
Hello, Markham. It's good to be here.
Well, now, I am fascinated by this because we formed Energy Media in 2015 specifically to report about the energy transition in Canada. And we've been involved in the discussions in Alberta for a long time. And it is only, like, I can think back a couple of years ago, where well-known energy leaders were arguing with me and talking in public that there is no energy transition. And so when I see the creation of an energy transition center in Calgary, that seems to me to be very good news and an indicator of progress in the thinking about, you know, the future of energy in Alberta and in Canada in general. Fair comment?
Yeah, I think I'm a transplant to Calgary 2016. I've only seen a time when people have been talking about the new future for Calgary. I think this is long enough. I think this is not a downturn, Markham. This is a change.
Yes, I would agree. I mean, this is a structural change in global markets for which Alberta has to adapt and change. So, well, let's talk about specifically about the Energy Transition Center. What can you tell me about, you know, its mission and what it'll be doing?
Yeah, so physically, we're a floor in the Ampersand building on the plus 15. Very important to be very connected to downtown. Just in general, it is a spiritual and physical hub for people to have this conversation together. But then there are some very specific things going on there as well. And so we will be bringing together hundreds of energy professionals. We have a set framework. We do this, so this is not a generalization. We, with our partner Avatar Innovations, 250 energy professionals every year get together, go through a program. We try and crystallize and find the best ideas with the best technologies that we can take forward and be part of the energy transition for Calgary, for Alberta, and for everyone else.
Now, I have long argued that the Canadian oil and gas industry is absolutely brilliant at innovating within its business model. I mean, we have, you know, steam-assisted gravity drainage in the oil sands, and we have all sorts of new technologies or adaptations of technologies that came out of Alberta that help extract oil and gas more efficiently and at a lower cost, and eventually at lower GHG emissions. They don't do a great job of innovating outside of that business model. So will the energy transition be innovating inside the existing business model, or will we see some innovation outside?
It is outside, but importantly, with today's industry professionals. Markham, this is the first time I've met you. Sounds like you know more about Calgary than me. That puts you in a large group. There's a huge amount of expertise here, isn't it? I mean, we all know that we need to move beyond the current energy model. But look at the expertise that we have in Alberta and in Calgary. And let's not waste that. And so we've got all these talented engineers, social scientists, et cetera, et cetera. Let's get them meeting with researchers from around the country, with policymakers from around the country, and let's collaborate and come up with new solutions. And let's not put barriers on those solutions. So absolutely, some of those solutions will be somewhat incremental to current processes, but I think a significant number are going to be completely new solutions and beyond oil and gas.
Will the Energy Transition Center be an incubator for new businesses, not only within the business community, but, you know, quite often it's a common model now to spin off, you know, new companies, new startups. That's the word I'm looking for. New startups from university research. And
absolutely.
Yeah. So that'll be part of it.
Absolutely, yes. It's one of Innovate Calgary's and UCalgary's hubs. Hubs is our language for accelerator stroke incubator. I'm in the Life Sciences Innovation Hub that we started 3 years ago. We have 65 life science companies associated with this hub, either physically in this building or working with us, diversifying the economy of Calgary. We have a life science innovation hub. We're just in the process of opening a social innovation hub. Quantum is coming to the city. Energy, the Energy Transition Center is one of our hubs. We expect to have tens and eventually hundreds of new technologies, most of them embodied in startups downtown in Calgary.
Now, I gather that the federal government has put in a couple $1 million, and CIBC will be providing support and financing of some of these startups that develop from the transition center. Who else has contributed to, financially and in other ways to support the creation of this center?
Yes, specifically at the moment, the University of Calgary. We are a university very much of the city, within living memory and for the city. So the University of Calgary takes extremely seriously its economic development role in the city and in the province. And I'll perhaps remind you, Markham, that we're not actually officially open yet. I'm really pleased that we're talking about it. We officially open in September. So today, yes, federal government, University of Calgary, Innovate Calgary, a new company, Avatar Innovations, fantastically are backing this. CIBC have just come on board. I think that when we're talking in 6 months' time, Markham, we might have a much longer list of corporate actors, and perhaps we are talking with the other layers of government as well. And rightly, that takes time.
Now, I noticed in the press release that there's one of the activities that will be undertaken is around career development, skills training, and so on. And I know that that's a particular interest of many workers in Alberta, because they're worried about losing their job. And actually, interestingly, it's not just losing a job in oil and gas, but many young people don't want to go into oil and gas. And so I'm wondering what role the Transition Center will play in, the workforce development, let's call it.
Yes, so Avatar Innovations have 3 connected programs that go right from ideation and training right through to investments. At the beginning of that funnel, we're limited by capacity to some extent. We with Avatar can take 250 professionals every year, every course. I believe this year we had about 750 applicants. So wouldn't it be great if we could take all 750? But at the moment, 250. And in the Avatar Ignite program, we work with those 250 and provide, let's call it, a platform for understanding about how technologies can be developed, how businesses can be developed, everything that builds on their experience of today's experience in the energy industry in Calgary.
Well, John, good luck with this. I think it sounds like a terrific development, and we'll look forward to seeing it open in September. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Markham. Thank you for your time.